My name is Pamela Gwanzura, and I want to just share an experience that I had when I was in Form 2. I was probably about 15 when I had this experience, and the Lord just laid it on my heart that it's not just an experience that I had, that I should keep it to myself, but He just impressed it on my heart that I need to share it um, with as many people as would want to hear it. So we had actually just gone to Vic Falls. I lived with my sister. After my mom died when I was 11, my sister adopted me, and so I was part of my sister's family. And we had gone on holiday to Vic Falls, and so it was just one of the nights when we were there that I just had this experience. To me, it was more, it felt like a dream, but really, I learned later that it was really just an experience and a vision that God gave me. I found myself in a place where there was just, nothing else in sight, almost like a desert kind of scenario where I could see far off from where I was standing, and I could see all around me, and it was just clear. No trees, no grass, just a plain kind of sight that was there. And when I looked down, all of a sudden, all around the space, the circumference around me just became edged, like a cutting just happened around me. And before I knew it, there was a feeling like where that space that I was standing on started going up. And as it was going up, it felt like an elevator experience. Um, and when I looked up, I actually saw that way up where this elevator was going, there was actually almost like the same circumference that fitted the place where I was standing was right there on the top. So it was like the experience was this space was good. This elevator was going up, going all the way up. And as I looked up, it fitted exactly on that spot. Then I just started walking around, and suddenly it felt like I was in a different city. And here in Harare, I would equate it to our first street, one of our busiest streets, where there's hustle and bustle of people walking up and down. It felt like that. And as I was walking, I started seeing a lot of people that I knew, but it felt like people that I hadn't seen for a very long time, and I was greeting them, they would greet me, and a lot of them, when they were greeting me, just had this, joy on their face, but also like almost a bit of a surprised look to say, "Oh, hi, Pam," and some of the ones that knew me from my toddler days would call me Pammy. "Hi, Pammy, how are you doing?" And they would kind of like ask me about some of their relatives, who, who we were connected to. So far off, as I was walking on this busy street, I spotted my mom. But while I'm on this street, while I'm on this in this town or this city that I was in, peculiar things that I picked up. It was just a happy place. The atmosphere was so light, and I could actually feel it in my heart that, oh wow, what a joyful place. What kind of a place is this? And one unique thing that I noticed about that town or that street is that it was just so peaceful. Everyone got along with everyone. The atmosphere was just so full of love, and it was just a warm atmosphere. So when I spotted my mother, I started making my way towards her. And as I walked towards her, there were a lot of distractions in between. There were so many people that I was meeting, and they wanted to stop me and talk to me. But I was like, there's my mom. I had to literally fight to get to where she was. And she hadn't seen me. So when finally there was just about a meter or 2 meters away from her, I just sprinted and went and hugged her. And I was so happy to see her. By the way, I was her last born, so we had our own special bond. So I was so happy to see her. And to me, it felt like I just hadn't seen her for about 2 weeks or so, because she used to travel a lot. She used to do a lot of travels to South Africa and surrounding areas where she would go and sell on business. So I felt like she had gone on one of those business trips, and I'm just seeing her after that. But what amazed me is that her look, she was happy to see me, but she had a look that was like surprised, to see me. And so before I knew it, she took me by the side, where we kind of like got separated from the madding crowd. And it was now just the two of us. And she sat me down, and we were sitting on a log, and it felt like, the scenario looked more like almost like a park scenario where we were sitting on a bench and just the two of us catching up. And basically, within that conversation, she was giving me a life lesson lecture where she was telling me, so, my daughter, make sure this, make sure that, remember this, remember that. And to me, as she was talking, it actually felt like one of her old lectures. And I felt like, oh, I know what she's going to say next. I know what she's going to say next. But we had a beautiful bonding time, and it was just special and really, really special to me. And before I knew it, next thing she was telling me, oh, Pam, let's walk this way. So we started walking. And I didn't realize that as we were walking, she was actually leading me to that spot that had brought me there in the first place. And then when we got to that spot, she said to me, Pami, it's not your time. Pami, you have to go back. And I said, go back where? Go back where, Mama? Go back where? I want to be here with you. And for sure, with all my heart, I really just wanted to be where she was. And I was telling her that, Mama, but I just want to be where you are. Where you are is where I belong. What do you mean I should go back? Go back where? And she didn't explain much. But before I knew it, that spot where she had led me to just went kitsch. And suddenly it felt like the elevator again, but this time coming down. And as I looked down, I actually saw again that circumference that had, been formed when I left via that elevator, also present. And before I knew it, that spot that I was standing on fitted exactly back into that spot. And as it fitted back, it felt like an elevator that was landing on ground floor. And as it was landing, it felt like I was being thrown back on the bed, and then I just woke up. And so it was such a real experience, and I didn't sleep the rest of that night. And it was such a real, it felt so real, and it was not like a dream. It felt very, very real. And when I woke up, the first person I told in the morning was our grandmother, who had actually traveled with us on that Vic Falls trip. And she straight away just said to me, oh, Mwanangu, you were with your mom. Oh, Mwanangu, you have been shown the heavenly things, The reason why I'm recording this video is because I felt God strongly saying to me I needed to. I needed to share it, not just with my family and friends, but I needed to share it to anybody who would care to hear and to listen. And the key takeouts for me, really, at the end of the day, was that heaven is real. And the key takeouts was that there is a place to which people go to when they leave this earth. And for me, my experience was just a very happy one. And it was one that just convinced me that there is a place that people go to when they leave this earth. And that experience with my mom was also confirmation that she is in a better place. And motivation for me that I need to live right. I need to be connected to my God, and I need to be aligned to Him so that one day when I leave this earth, I will actually be reconciled with my mom. And those are some of the key takeouts. So, my main message to you out there is that believe in God. Um, Align yourself to God, connect yourself to God, give your life to Christ. The day is coming that you will leave this earth. And when you do leave this earth, be sure of where you're going before you actually leave. And so that's my main message. Thank you very much.